Good option. Decides to leave it, took the risk, and was just creeping wide, but from an angle that he wouldn't be able to see Jorginho, just getting that glimpse of the ball. Two strong hands.
Interception from Mateus. Totti was last seen in pre-season playing in the left wing-back position, and he wasn't chosen last weekend at West Ham, and a lot of people expected that to be the case. Yes, and Mosquera being the only other option at centre-half. Here's Adama Traore. Costa's calling for it in the centre. Away by Koulibaly, back in by Johnny. Guedes. Johnny looking to get the shot in. That is a trademark Wolves type effort from outside the penalty area. They're always top of the table for shots from outside the box. So when you look at the stats, you think, well, they've had a few goes, but they tend not to trouble the opposition too much.
Low XGs in their games and low number of shots on target. It's those rangy ones that, as a home team, you're saying, well, we're 20 minutes in and that's what we've restricted them to. We'll be happy. A lot of players coming to the ball, looking to get the ball to feet. You need runners in behind as well.
If you like a stat, Rob, they've averaged 0.38 goals per game. Also, here comes Chelsea. Pulisic, excellent challenge though by João Moutinho. It's not great, is that? 0.38 goals per game in the Premier League.
You don't need to be a mathematician to know that that's not great.
You want to know the Chelsea equivalent? It's 1.43 goals a game. That's not normally my kind of stat, but I thought that was extremely low for a Premier League side. Here comes Chelsea. Well, it was a chance. It was a good one as well for Mason Mount. They have had a few already in the opening 20 minutes or so of this game without really testing Jose Sarr enough.
Yeah, it's another run, a run in behind. Ruben's off his cheek moments ago, doing it on the other side of the pitch, and fantastic first touch, and just a poor choice on the second touch, trying to whip it in that near post. Just didn't see the far side of the goal opening up for him, made him take that choice, but Jose Sarr saved one at his near post already. Be
the frustration for Graham Potter so far, that whilst they have dominated and they've had more chances, Jose Sarr really hasn't had to do enough.
I think they'll be happy, Graham Potter, with how it's gone so far in the game. I don't think this Chelsea side have been known to score a bundle of goals, so slowly turning the screw.
Plenty of time to go too, as Piliqueta trying to cushion the header down towards Mount. Loftus-Cheek and Pulisic.
No confidence over the finish. Again, the opportunity there for Totti to clear the ball, and he's just slashed at it. Really poor defensive work, and just didn't look any confidence over the strike. Throwing a leg at it more than a control and firing it in the corner. A player who hasn't played a lot of football.
Lovely play from Mateus Nunes. Wow, it's a third player he stepped away from. What about the ball through to Guedes and the challenge, and that's a free kick. Guedes stopped in his tracks by Cesar Azpilicueta, protesting his innocence, and that was a wonderful move by Wolves, initiated by Mateus Nunes.
It's fantastic from Mateus Nunes, riding one challenge, riding another challenge, and he's away. And from there, it's whether he could pick the pass just on the slow, pick the ball slow in on the slow grass, and Azpilicueta winning the ball, claiming that he's winning the ball, but if you're tackling from behind, it's got to be perfect.
Well, it's the captain for the day, João Moutinho, standing over this opportunity. Free kick for Wolves.
Capable of the spectacular, but it is a massive wall for Chelsea.
Here's Moutinho, away by Kepa. He watched it all the way and took no chances.
That's confident from Kepa. Moutinho talking out the sides of the wall. Now with Koulibaly on the end of it, that confidence you take as a goalkeeper, you know that you can hold your ground on your side of the goal. Because that wall, that side is protected by such a big wall.
Totti finds Johnny. He's right-footed, but he does prefer to play on the left. He's played all over the place in the back 4 and 5 Wolves this season. Jorginho. Just the 3/4 of the possession for the home side this afternoon. And they've had far more chances as well. Patience being the key. It took until the 90th minute last week to score the winner. They don't mind when it comes.
No, we knew at the start of the game that they would dominate the ball. He knew that they would have their opportunities to break Wolves down. I think with the creative players, it's about just getting that link up right. And the confidence over the strike on the player taking the strike, which is lacking at times with Chelsea.
Kilman. Another senior centre-half at the club. That was really positive from the former Sporting midfielder Mateus, who just now scored an absolute rip-roaring goal in his last appearance before leaving them. And that's short from Totti, and it's allowed Azpilicueta to nip in, and Gallagher gives it back to him. Wolves on the back foot now. Can Chelsea punish them? No. Mount with the effort.
Brilliant from Azpilicueta initially, continuing his run. It's Weather Mason Mount in full stretch, at full pace, can get his strike away, and just under pressure, just enough there to put him off. Now this is the problem for Wolves, as I was saying before, that they're all coming to the ball and it becomes predictable. Players, defenders, Azpilicueta there can nip in, can read the passes.
Have given the ball away far too often for the manager's liking so far. They've got away with it until now. I imagine Chelsea are going to continue to be quite so generous. And once again, they've nipped in to win it back. And here's Havertz, surely now, tried to round Sarr. The goal is empty, and they can't take advantage. Wolves, once again, architects of their own downfall. They keep giving the ball away. VAR are having a look for a possible penalty, but check complete on that front.
It's just, and not, again, Pulisic without the confidence just to go on and strike the ball. As you say, Jack, it's all too predictable from Wolves. Chelsea just stepping in and nicking the ball at will.
Azpilicueta, first time for Gallagher, who thought about having the strike. Azpilicueta again, over from Loftus-Cheek. Moutinho just doing enough to put him off.
Azpilicueta's having a field day down this right-hand side. All the space that he wants, all the space that he needs to pick passes, to find players. It's a clever cutback. He knows that Ruben Loftus-Cheek's getting there. That deflection maybe just helps Ruben Loftus-Cheek get there first. And it is another chance for Chelsea.
Two balls on the pitch, so play can't continue. That's the reason for the short delay. I mean, just imagine if Conor Cody was still the leader in central defence. He'd be making sure his teammates stop giving the ball away so cheaply.
He might have had a word or two by now.
Don't think he'd be saying calm down, do you? And frustration from Diego Costa. Another pass goes astray. Whether in defence or in attack. Haven't quite got it together as yet. It is a very attacking lineup if you're joining us late. Both Adama Traore coming in for his first league start of the season and Diego Costa as well. But really, it's Chelsea have been doing this all game, mostly with this man as Piliqueta, and it's a good ball in. And again, they haven't taken the opportunity. Pulisic this time.
Well, he could have had a hat-trick. Pulisic by now. That's Piliqueta with the space. Conor Gallagher making the run out wide, and that buys him the time to pick the pass. It's a delightful cross. One asking just to be felt back in that far corner. That's all he's trying to do, but hits it horribly, horribly wrong.
Who are the goalkeeper behind this back four now, Rob? What would you be saying to them? Keep it clean.
Well, he's not so much off the ball because they're at 6s and 7s, because they're giving it away. It's actually the players in front of them giving it away. You need to turn Chelsea. You need to, just for a couple of minutes, play in their half, and that might mean losing the ball, but lose it further up the pitch.
Remarkably, it is still goalless as we approach the half-hour mark. Traore, much better when he's facing goal. Is he bundled over there by Gallagher? Play on, says Simon Hooper, and Chelsea looking to charge forwards once again. And that wasn't the pass that Havertz was after, and he was offside anyway. Mount was screaming for it on the far side.
Yeah, that was the ball. Top of the screen, far side, left-hand side. Mason Mount in acres of space, and again, Wolves losing it cheaply. It's poor from Adama Traore. Hold the line. You can see top of your screen, Mason Mount, arms aloft. Frustration, acres of space.
Kilman finds Totti. And what can they do in possession here? They're not given a minute. Podence. On by Moutinho. Here's Mateus. He produced a fabulous run just a few moments ago, and that's a good ball for Traore, but he's lost it again. Pulisic. Traore does well. Here's Johnny. Moutinho, first time ball for Podence, and he has players in the box. Costa's there, Podence took too much time. The ball didn't arrive for Costa or Guedes, who was in the centre.
It's a poor choice again. For once, made a run in behind and got the ball. Find your teammate in a better position. Sometimes it's simple.
If we're being harsh, we could say he's not used to being in the penalty area. Wolves players are so unused to it, they don't quite know what to do with themselves. They barely visited the 18-yard box this season. Chelsea chance once again, and what a save from Jose Sarr. Well, that time it was a shot on target. That time they made the goalkeeper work, and that's the closest that Chelsea have come so far.
That's almost spectacular, similar to Gallagher last week. Just felt it in that far top corner. Jose Sarr, he's got fantastic feet. Just watch his footwork there. It's not about the dive and the reach. That only comes with the footwork. Just the small steps there that enables the big dive, the big save. Big moment in the game.
Brilliant effort from the American Christian Pulisic. He's had a fairly slow start to the game, but he has had chances. He has had several Chelsea players. Gallagher with a corner. It's a poor one, but he'll get another chance. It's a throw which Azpilicueta will take. Have plenty of options in the centre if it's a long one. Flicked on, Chalobah goes down as another chance.
I've not seen a long throw in the Premier League for a few years, but almost effective.
Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, Azpilicueta. Must have touched the ball more times than any other player. You would have thought Azpilicueta. He's been so heavily involved in the play, as has Gallagher. Here's Loftus-Cheek.
Wolves would just be grateful that Reece James has been rested.
Absolutely. What a run of form that young man is on. What a top talent he is. Loftus-Cheek. Chalobah. Chalobah in the right wing position, centre half. We know they like a fluid formation here, but in towards Gallagher. And Totti's there. Graham Potter looking to make it 3 wins in a row. They won in the league here against West Ham as well. He took over though in the Champions League. A 1-1 draw against Salzburg. And what a performance here in midweek against AC Milan, who admittedly weren't at their best, but what a performance from Chelsea.
Yeah, similar to today in that they were in complete control. Really. And it was just a case of if they score and when they score, and seemingly today with Graham Potter resting Aubameyang, I had a feeling if he was playing then he would be up already in this game.
Well, something that Graham Potter knows. He has options in the second half should he need them. Here's Mount. Oh, and that's a nice ball. Is there enough on it? And Semedo didn't deal with it. Here's Pulisic. There's Cucurella with him. And he has Mount with him. And he has a little bit of space and finds Azpilicueta up against Totti. Jorginho. Diego Costa back there battling away for his team. Given away straight away though by Totti Gomez. Once again Chelsea pile forwards as they have done throughout this game so far.
Wolves have got 10 minutes till half time really, and I think it's important for them that they hold on, but it feels with like Diego Costa dropping deeper and deeper. You see him just on the left hand side of your screen now coming to the ball. That's the furthest forward they've got. Whilst Chelsea have got the ball, it's getting out is a real problem.
He hasn't started a game since last December. He won't really want to be using up all his fitness and energy on chasing around lost causes. He wants to be in the opposition box should any balls arrive, but there's nothing arriving at the moment. All hands to the pump defensively as James Collins and Steve Davis on the edge of their technical areas. We wish they'd brought caps with them. It's so bright and sunny down there. They can't see a great deal.
Perhaps that's a good thing at the minute.
It is, although if they look at the scoreboard, they'll be absolutely delighted. Here's Mason Mount. Pulisic having gone closest for Chelsea so far, having brought a fine save out of Jose Sarr, and that's lovely footwork from Mount into Pulisic. Can they work another opening, and crucially, can they make it count this time? Because they've had plenty of chances, and they have a corner. Centre halves are up there. Chalobah's in there. They have the lofty Ruben Loftus-Cheek as well. Oh, and it fell to the feet of Azpilicueta, who frankly deserves a goal for his efforts in the opening stages of this game.
Well, he's done everything in the game so far at the tip score. Just a little nick of the ball. Just wrong-footed him. Just the slightest of touches off the head. Being kind to him there.
Kilman. Has the ball gone out of play? Just kept in. The Semedo and his Traore. Haven't really seen him run at Cucurella so far. It's only his first start, but we haven't seen the best of Adama Traore. By a long shot. It hasn't really been in favour with Bruno Lage, but here's Cucurella, unmistakable with his curly locks. What about the delivery? And towards Mount. Chalobah. And Chelsea supporters still encouraging their players forward to see if they can break the deadlock before half-time. But if not, well, don't worry, they've got Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on the bench. They've got the top scorer, Raheem Sterling. Armando Broja would absolutely love to have a crack, scoring his first Chelsea goal against this Wolves defence.
Safe to say he's got options. As a defender, Reece James would be an attacking option as well.
The informed players in the country, if not the world at the moment. There's Kepa, just a slightly nervy moment just for a second. Talking about those options on the bench, Wolves haven't been able to fill theirs. Raul Jimenez is still out for an unspecified period with injury, and he's not been the player he was since before his injury, unfortunately, with it being such an awful head injury that he suffered. Haven't seen the best of him. And Chiquinho's out for the season with an ACL. Pedro Neto out for some time with an ankle injury. Will miss the World Cup for Portugal, but he hasn't been in form either ever since his last serious injury. And Ruben Neves, the captain, suspended for today. Nathan Collins, one of the first names on the team sheet at centre-half, suspended as well. Hence why Wolves will be so delighted with the scoreline so far. But what can they create now? And a rare foray forward. Johnny in towards Costa. Koulibaly nipping in. Pedence. Moutinho. Semedo. They have players in the box. Guedes is in there. Costa is in there. What about the final ball? Here's Mateus. Better from Wolves. Adama Traore in towards Mateus. And he just couldn't keep it down, but Diego Costa was hoping it would drop to him just behind Mateus.
Oh, big chance. They've hung on in the game. Wolves played this well, used the space well. It was whether put that final ball in. It was good play from Adama Traore, picking his man. The timing of the run was perfect. Committing bodies in the box. I was saying, Jackie, that there's been a problem for Wolves where they got 4 or 5 players in then. Just controlling the ball and being able to keep it for a sustained period allows them players to get up the pitch and get in the box.
Well, the narrative of the first half has been very much a case of Chelsea possession, Chelsea chances, Wolves gifting possession to them cheaply, or Chelsea winning it. It hasn't really been a case of Wolves coming forwards very much at all, but it was pretty much the closest they've come with that cross from Traore, and they almost scored at West Ham from a similar position. Traore off the bench for Costa off the bench, and he really should have buried it.
I think it's fair to say that if they had scored that, it was against the run of play. I think this man stretching and this guy with the cap on will be itching to get on, to have a chance of adding to their tallies for the season.
Do you think, as things stand, Graham Potter will make changes at half-time, or do you think he'll leave it for the hour mark? Because, of course, he's thinking of AC Milan away on Tuesday night. Yeah,
I think he'll keep it out there and he'll say, well, you've played well. It's just a case of that final kick of the ball, that final header. We can get you in the right areas. It's up to you to score. Do that thing. Seems so simple at times, but is the hardest part of football.
Just ask Wolverhampton Wanderers. Just 3 goals in the league all season. Chelsea's 5 goals in the last 2 games. And the equivalent of Wolves in their 10 games in League and Cup. Question marks about why they started with just one specialist centre forward this season in Raul Jimenez, with young Fabio Silva having been allowed to go on loan to Anderlecht in Belgium and get some much needed first team experience, but they didn't replace him, and that has been a problem with Raul Jimenez not being in form and then being injured as well. And Sasha Kalajic came in, £15 million striker from Stuttgart, but he came with an injury record as long as your arm, and cruel luck for him as Koulibaly almost got caught out. But he did his ACL in his very first game, actually played on with it for several minutes before coming off at half-time, and he's out for the rest of the season.
This is the problem if you don't do your business early in the transfer window. You're scratching around at times, and centre half and centre forward, spine of your team, if you've not got that sorted at the start of the season, you can pay the penalty.
Yeah, well, Wolves pay the penalty here for giving the ball away cheaply again. Pulisic, best chance of the half for him. Cucurella, a goal before half-time would be very welcome around here. It's gone a little bit quiet. It's been a very similar narrative. Chelsea in possession, looking to make things happen. Lovely turn and touch from Loftus-Cheek, but here's Guedes. And Havertz, fine play from him to intercept, but it's still Wolves in possession. Traore, it's past Cucurella. Podence had made the run, but well read by Koulibaly. I'm hearing there'll be just a couple of minutes of added time at the end of this first half with that injury to Jorginho. Is there any urgency to break the deadlock before that whistle blows? Jorginho looks to be okay. It's not happened with that challenge from Podence. Isn't necessarily that urgency perhaps from Chelsea. Does there need to be?
I'm feeling they've had enough chances in this half to be a number of goals to the good. Keeping the patience, picking the right moment is key to breaking a team down.
Gallagher. Good movement again from Azpilicueta, but read by Totti. And he felt that should have been a free kick, the Spaniard.
I think his point is it's either a foul or it's our throw-in, not what you've just given.
Well, Steve Davis and James Collins, the Wolves interim managers, will be delighted with the scoreline from the end of this first half, but no doubt they'll have words to add. Well, can they make something happen now in stoppage time? Here's Nelson Semedo. He's a little bit behind Diego Costa, and the chance is lost, but just for a moment it looked as though Wolves could nick the unlikeliest of leads.
Final ball again. Just a bit of composure, a bit of measured play was needed and was lacking.
He spent almost the entirety of this first half defending. Here's Pulisic. Ball deflects off. Coutinho and Gallagher got there, but that's going to be a corner, and this surely now will be the last act of the first half, which Chelsea have thoroughly dominated. Can Chelsea find the breakthrough in the dying embers of this first half? Conor Gallagher with a dangerous ball in. Chalobah there. Excellent defending by Totti. Making the block. Still the danger not averted. Good ball by Chalobah. Cut back from Mount. Chalobah. Mount again. Good ball to the far post. Surely it's there. It is there. And it's Kai Havertz
And it's a brilliant finish, but it's what the ball across was asking for. Mason Mount, he's been a part of most things in this half. Just looking up, can he get the technique right? Can he get the measure right? And just drifts it to that far post, asking for Kai Havertz for at least one chance in the half. Be clinical with this Chelsea side, and it's a brilliant header. The deftness of the touch, the weight, the composure, just to get it over. Jose Sarr has what's been lacking in this first half, and on the stroke of half-time, finally had that moment of quality.
Well, just moments earlier, Nelson Semedo had strode forwards for Wolves and almost could have nicked the unlikeliest of leads. And moments